Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a weekly garden update. I'm going to start doing this every week, preferably I'm going to film it on either Friday or Saturday. Now who knows when it will actually get out, whether that's Monday, I don't know. But I'm going to be doing a weekly garden update just for my records mostly, but I know I enjoy watching these of other people's videos, so if that's something that interests you, then I hope you'll follow along. But before we go outside, I wanted to show you the shirt that I put on today because I got this for Christmas, I think 2 years ago, and it's just becoming like more and more true. So my shirt says homeschooling is like organic gardening, all natural, homegrown, and better for you. Isn't that the cutest shirt? Anyways, I'll put a link below if I can still find it on Amazon for you if you want to check it out. But we're gonna head out. Jeremy's dad is actually back in town. They were here a couple weeks ago, but his dad came out to help with projects, so we have all kinds of things going on today. Disaster in the laundry room. Let me show you what's going on here. We decided to take out the floor, the subfloor, and they're continuing the laminate flooring, but they took out the subfloor because under the washer it was rotting, and you could really just like step on it. You could feel that it wasn't great, so they decided to replace it, which I'm glad. Not that anyone will ever know that happened, but we'll know, I guess. All right, so let's go out to the garden and I'll give you an update. So throughout the yard I have added many flowers, and these were just recycled from our old house, but I have these hooks. So we have one in the backyard, super cute. It makes it difficult for mowing, but sorry, Jeremy. Oh, there's a little maple, and we have a Stellar Jay back there hopping along the back fence. Maple looks quite happy. All right, so we're gonna start over here. Cooper had planted some sunflower seeds, and it looks like there are 4 that have popped up, so that's cool. That one's getting pretty big. I have a bunch of peonies over here. I'm not sure what these are. If anyone knows, let me know. I need to plant or post in my plant identification group, but it looks like they're gonna have like three or 4, I don't know, are those gonna be flowers, I'm assuming? Those are super pretty, super big. But we have some peonies back here, and you can see there are ants crawling all over them. Do you see that? I recently read in one of my groups that they are actually helping open up the flower petals. So if you see ants on your peonies, it's not a bad thing. They're just there to open the petals, and they actually feed on the nectar. So, I mean, I guess as long as they're not right up against your house, although we do have an ant problem in the house, so whatever. But at least these ones are outside, so we'll take that. We do have a volunteer maple tree, huge here. We're gonna transplant to the front yard. We planted our tomato plants in these white, like rain barrels, I'm assuming. They were here. So we have 3. These are the ones we got at Costco. They're doing just great. I'm not sure what that plant is, but it was green, so I kept it. We still have one down here, although it looks like it's full of fertilizer, which, you know, I'm not a huge fan of, but I do have a pepper plant. I'm thinking of putting that one in here. Now, I really like where these tomatoes are because there's this little arbor, and it keeps them from getting rained on, because when I water my tomato plants, I try not to get the leaves wet. So they still get some water, but the leaves are not getting pounded with rain. So I thought that was a really good idea. Let's open the gate here. All right, over here we have our artichokes, and they are doing really well. No artichokes yet, just big old plants, but there's quite a few of those. All right, and then for the big enclosed raised bed, this is the only place we've really planted any seeds, but our strawberries are still sadly sitting in here. We're gonna be going out of town, so I don't really wanna move them into another garden bed where there won't be water, but this does have like a mister system here. So all of our strawberries are still gonna sit in here until we get back. They're doing okay. I put up this palette. I know it looks kind of weird, but they were getting beaten with sun. Like, this garden gets sun all day long, and it was just too much for them. So I put this up so after, you know, like 2 or so, it gets shade for the rest of the day. And we have, okay, what do we have here? We have our chives, which are flowering, which are so pretty. We've eaten some of these. And then these snap peas. I'm not sure what variety they are because look at the flowers. They are pink. They are so pretty. And we had our first one. Where did it go now? Cooper was so excited he wanted to eat it. No, I don't. Oh, here's one. There's one right there. I need to tie this up. That one is way too heavy. So anyways, we have snap peas here. Our little, sorry, focus, basil plant. And look, oh, we have lots of weeds. Oh my goodness, these weeds, I tell ya. I spent a long time weeding yesterday. These are Cooper snap peas that he planted. And then we have 2 rows here. The far left row is kale, which is coming up really nice. It rained like for the past few days, so that really helped that come up. And then this row is not real distinct, but there's lettuce going down there, which this one's doing great. So it'll come. It's just going to take a little bit longer. And then we have some arugula, which I kind of put this here because I couldn't really weed next to the arugula. So we have a row of arugula. We planted some marigolds in here. Along this back line here will be cucumbers, and hopefully we can trellis them up onto this fence here. And then I planted a row of sunflowers on the back. These strawberries are called, let me see if I can remember, hula strawberries? I don't know, but they're white strawberries and they're supposed to taste like pineapple. I don't know, they were here. So we'll see how that goes. These were our tomato starts, and it looks like they are starting to pop up, so that's good. And then these were the seeds that Coulter planted the other day. So we had our lupine, which has not made an appearance, the forget-me-nots, the black-eyed Susan, those are popping up. All the sunflowers popped up, and then the green beans. So those are doing really well as well. For the rest of these beds, they haven't really changed at all. I've cleared out some more weeds and such. These are the blackberries. I don't think there's any raspberries in there. The asparagus is super tall, like all the way up there. So, and one tumbled over. It was really windy the other day. And then our blueberries are starting, well, they do have leaves on them. I'm a little concerned. I don't think that these blueberries were taken care of properly, but they are getting some leaves. It's not like there's going to be a huge harvest of blueberries, but those are all blueberries. Looks like some of the plants are dead, unfortunately. And then this is a grapevine, and you can actually see, let's see if I can hop up here and show you, the grapes are coming. Now I'll be curious to see how these do, because as you can tell, they were not pruned. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Next year we'll have to do some more research and get these pruned before it's too late. The rhubarb is still huge, very huge. Probably needs some water. It looks like something's starting to eat it, but I have a huge bag of it in the freezer. I just don't know that we really need much more than that. The cherry tree is not really showing any signs of fruit yet. I don't really see, I'm assuming that would turn into a cherry, but that's the cherry tree. Not a whole lot going on there. Now the apple tree has a ton of apples. So let's see if we can, here, these are kind of hanging in the sun here. Looks like something was nibbling this, maybe a deer or something, I don't know. But lots and lots of apples. I'm kind of concerned because look at all those. This is going to be hanging very low. But man, how do you get the apples from up there? That's a tall apple tree. Lots of apples. Here's another one of my flower pots that I planted. This one here is lamb's ear, fuzzy wuzzy or something like that, with a couple of pansies. So that I thought looked really pretty. And then our rhododendrons. Man, I just love these three plants right here. They're so pretty, the colors together. I'm gonna be so sad when they're done. That you can tell one way over there is dropping all of its petals. So they're coming to an end. And I don't know if you can see, but there's all kinds of, is it cottonwood seeds? Just, it looks like it's snowing. They're flying everywhere. All right, then the grapevines down here are exploding, of course. And there's lots of grapes over here. This is our pear tree, and these are doing really well. I think this is a pear tree. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong and you think differently, please comment below. But those look like pears to me. And there's quite a few on this little tree. I thought that all of these were pear trees too. That one, and that one, but those don't seem to have fruit on them, so I'm not really sure. And the hydrangeas are still fighting their way back. Some of them came back better than others. And I think we lost a couple down here. So we'll have to replace those. For Mother's Day, the boys got me, or I actually picked out the flowers that I want, but I said I just want a bunch of flowers and plants. So I still have a few left over, but I've been trying to weed out some of the stuff and replant. These are all succulents and they are doing so well. I cannot believe how big they are. I transplanted a bunch from that yellow pot over there, over here, just to get them all together, because this yellow pot was full of weeds. And then yesterday I weeded these and I just put a few of the succulents back in and some flowers for this pot. I just love all these tins, these metal bucket tins, whatever you want to call them. And then in this front area, we have a bunch more peonies here that are gonna open up any day now. So the rest of the planters, I brought this one up from the other garden. We have some lettuce and cilantro that are doing really well. Our lavender, these all need to go in the garden. I think there's a pumpkin, a cucumber, the pepper plant, and then some chocolate mint that I think I'm going to put in this pot, because these are just annuals and they're not doing well. They were in the sun and they needed to be more in the shade, so I think they're kind of coming back. But I'll put the chocolate mint in here because that will pretty much just take over that planter once those are done. And our calla lilies that we had from our very first house together, we've slowly brought them along with us, so we have that over there. At the front door, I did this pot yesterday with some succulents and just a couple little flowers, but I thought just the green against the wood looked really pretty, so I love these, and they're in the shade, so that hopefully they do well there. Okay, the last thing I want to show you guys is something the boys have been working on. They have been calling it Brother Garden. And when we moved in, there was this patch of like sandy dirt over by the basketball hoop, and they started digging in it, which I was fine with. And then Carter asked for some sunflowers one day, and I really didn't think they would grow because he wasn't watering them, but they did. They popped up. So now they have planted a ton of other seeds in this cute little garden area, and we made a cute little sign the other day, so I'm gonna put that together and put that out here, but I'll show you. There's not anything really popping up yet, but hopefully soon. So this is just right off of our, patio area where the basketball court is, and I don't know really what all the sticks are about, but they were allowed to do whatever they wanted. So these were the sunflowers that Carter planted that popped up. And I think in the middle they have a watermelon. I've been putting green onions in here just from inside because it'll be shorter to come and get them. Right out here we use those quite often. This little section over here was Cooper's. I know he planted some green beans, which we'll have to trellis, and then sunflowers. Coulter's little circle over there. He planted a bunch of different flowers, and I think Carter had a row of green beans and sunflowers. So it'll be interesting to see how these do, but I just thought that was so cute, just kind of over here in its own little corner. And I almost forgot to show you our plum tree. I believe it's an Italian plum tree, but the plums are coming. There's a ton of them on here. I didn't even know this was a fruit tree until the other day when I was walking under here, and I'm like, oh my goodness, there are fruits on here. So we're gonna have quite a few plums. A little shot of Maple. She's all excited because I just came over here. Hi, sweetie. What you doing? Hi. You were just eating your lunch, munching, huh? You want to say hi to the camera, huh? You're so cute. She's like, I'll take some dandelions or some fresh grass, please. I'll get you some. All right, that is it for this week's garden update. Hopefully things will progress and there'll be a lot more as the summer comes and fall. We'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.